robust urban garlic flavor. I just don't get it, man. Anyway, let's continue. Retro Jim Cheers says that rule sucks. What about great games like Lost Odyssey? So he's talking about the rule that I said that basically no lengthy JRPGs can be a viewer's choice game anymore. All right. Here's the thing. I'm not completely outlawing RPGs in general. What I'm saying is, for now, we've got a lengthy RPG we need to finish in Fire Emblem. We've got another RPG coming up in November with Yakuza. And then we've got another lengthy RPG in Divinity Original Sin that I've got to play after that. We are RPG out. Like, there's, you know what I mean? There's no way in the near future I can play any more RPGs. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, all RPGs are permanently banned. Ugh. I like RPGs. Man, I'm stretching. Sorry. Oh, I like RPGs. I really enjoy RPGs. I grew up playing RPGs. But there's no way that I can play constant RPGs. It's not going to happen. I'm a variety streamer. Like I said, I can't be playing a game that's 70 hours long and takes 4 to 5 months to beat constantly. And I can't be doing RPG content constantly. All right? So we got to space these out and pace them. Right? So that's what I mean about, we have to basically do it a smart way. So definitely when we do another viewer's choice, there's no way I can allow an RPG to be eligible. Okay. Only Iced Coffee, get the subscription to Young Remy. Sorry, I punched the microphone by accident. Congratulations, Young Remy, and thank you, Only Iced Coffee, for the channel support. Even more gifted subs today. It's crazy. Thank you, dude. Whee! People have told me to just finish this game. They don't want it in the rotation anymore.
Exactly. So you should listen to those people and stop playing the game. Like, you've seen the tip totals. They aren't good, Phil. They don't want to see this game.
Which is sad, because I love it. I would play this game another month. Seriously, I would. But I got to play what people want. People are screaming for new stuff.
If you love the game, but your audience doesn't want to pay you to play it, you got to play it on your own time, Phil. Otherwise, stop complaining about only getting $20 in tips.
Perhaps what we'll do is save it as a kind of a back burner thing, and every once in a while, maybe try a random night stream where we go and do side content in Act 3. Because that way, at least I can experience some of it.
Just play it by yourself, really. It's not rocket science.
You got to realize that coming up at the end of the year, I always do a Game of the Year awards, and if I've only experienced some of the game and not all of it, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to figure it out, right?
Robust. Snort. No, Phil, absolutely not. You played this game for like 30 hours. You got enough of a conception about what the game is about. If you're playing it for 2 hours, okay, but you've been playing this for over 30. What are you talking about? Are you just trying to guilt trip your fans into giving you money because you want to play this game but they don't want to see it? This is really sloppy and desperate. Nobody wants to see this. They've been telling you they don't want to see this game, they haven't been paying you money, so stop playing the game and go play it on your own time.
Alright, so guys, here's the deal. Please support the stream tonight. And what I mean by that,
He means that you should give him money right now.
It is the final stream of Clear Obscure for now. We very well may go back to the game for side content down the line.
If I can convince you and have it my way, which I usually always do.
And we may not finish it tonight, but I'm going to try. Please support the stream. We actually hit goals the last couple of streams. I want to keep that momentum going. We're at 14 out of 20 goals hit.
Earth to Phil. Nobody cares about the goals except for you. Nobody really is interested about seeing you stuff your face full of pizza.
Obviously, next week, you guys want to see DSP tries it mod pizza. Do you not?
No, not really. But I may enjoy seeing you have a still frame of you eating pizza. But the video? No.
I do. I want to know what this mod pizza is all about. We looked it up. They have thin crust. They have thick crust. They have a million toppings. I want pizzas. I'm going to get 2 pizzas.
Phil, this just sounds like begging for money with extra steps. When you say, oh, I really want to try pizza, then get it on your own time. Your fans will hit the goals when they want to hit the goals. Stop this stupid thing, because it's not really an incentive. It's just begging.
One of one style and one of the other. Load them with toppings. Delicious. Devour. Live on stream. Let's do it. Let's get some support right now. Let's get our first super chat of the night right now. Let's get our first sub of the night over on Kick right now. Let's get a tip right now. Let's do it. How about some memberships right now to get started? Yes, I'm going to eat both pizzas entirely by myself. I totally won't just have a couple pieces of each, right? Oy, oy, oy.
Well, this is embarrassing as Phil stares at the screen waiting for tips. Like, Phil, that person is definitely joking with you. They don't expect you to eat 2 full pizzas. Are you serious? Like, you're taking them too literally. His Kino hype begging is just so overplayed that it just becomes obnoxious. Just stick to the regular begging, Phil. That's what we want to see.
Come on, right now. Right now. We're going to boot the game up. Let's get some support right now. All right, let's get the game.
Yeah, he has that fake laugh where he's like going to pretend that's a joke, but he's entirely serious. He just expects tips immediately, often, and in large quantities. And when it doesn't happen, he gets very confused and upset.
Get this off. Get this off. Come on, this is the finale of Clair Obscur. Many people's game of the year. It very well may be my game of the year. I don't know.
The logic that he's running with is that if the game is good, you should support Phil. You should give Phil money. So if a game is bad, I shouldn't give you money, Phil? Is that what you're saying? He makes it all about the game, and that's the pitfall that he falls through. Because he is the entertainer. He's supposed to entertain, but he doesn't realize that's what he's supposed to be doing. So when he's saying, oh, look at this game is fun to play, but it may not be entertaining for your audience. That's the bottom line. That is what matters, not if a game is good or not.
You know, we're so early to figure that out, but I feel like it may be my game of the year. So we got to give it some love. We got to say, RPGs, you deserve the love and attention. Give them some love. Support Clair Obscur tonight, okay?
So let me get this straight. If I don't give you money, it means I don't like RPGs. That's what you're saying here. You're begging for a game. If I want to support a game developer, I'll just buy the game. I don't have to go through a middleman like you, who's like giving money is just kind of meaningless.
Wow. In a battle of wits, you come up with the short end of the stick there, buddy. All right.
Some robust commentary from the man, Philip Paul Burnell himself.
Oh, some shout-outs. We had Parking Lot Tears who gifted a sub. Okay, thanks. And Maximum Turbo gifted a membership. We have one of each, basically. Okay. Thank you so much. So one of each. That is $8 of support to start us off tonight, right? So we had nothing. 0. I received 0 contributions today. 0. I have no tips. I have no super chats. I have no memberships. So because of that, I have nothing to shout out today. This is just me being honest. I'm not complaining. This is, normal. I would do that. We have nothing. Absolutely nothing. So $8 of support to start. Let's get going.
Let's get going, guys. It's time to help Phil hit that goal right now. Right now. Right now.
Maxwell, thank you for a $1 super chat. That's our first super chat of the night. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Beautiful music right now. $9 of support. Come on, guys. Let's get some support for the end game and finale of Clair Obscur tonight.
Come on, guys. We're at the climax. Why aren't you supporting? Don't you love this game that I love to play? I'm having fun. So shouldn't that mean you support the game? Support the game. Come on. Even if you don't think I'm interesting, if you think this is a good game, please support. Because otherwise, I'll be living in a van down by the river.
Can someone give Sports Guy a VIP or OG badge? All right, I'll make the offer tonight. If someone gives 10 subs on Kick, I'll give you a VIP badge, or you can gift one. If you do 20 subs on Kick, you get an OG badge and the VIP badge, and you can keep it or gift it. It's up to you. I'll make that offer tonight, because obviously I want to hit the goal tonight for the conclusion of Clair Obscur.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is actually a bad business tactic, because it reeks of desperation. People don't want to support desperation, Phil. Like, you should have these promos just running occasionally. It's like, who cares about gifting 10 or 20 subs on Kick? Because that's a ton of money, Phil. That's a lot. You're asking for like one person to come support your stream and one person alone. And that's the problem. When you only have one person supporting your stream, It's hard to get $150 every day.
Listen to this. Here's a tip, take the full shift. Whatever that means. Okay, thanks.
My guess is what he meant by that, or the tipper meant, is that Phil should play like for 8 hours. Now imagine if he played for 8 hours and he went into overtime and only got like $40 in tips. He would be absolutely livid.
I don't know what that means. Then I got a $5 tip from Meconium. Thank you to Meconium for a $5 tip. So we're getting a little bit of support for the finale of it, Clear Obscure tonight. Thank you guys. Wow, the animation is on my face. Let's move that. There we go. That's $7 bucks. We're up to 21. All right, really quick, I'm going to go pee, come back, and hopefully in the next hour we will finish up the game, at least the main story, and go from there. But guys, please support the conclusion of Expedition 33. I will be right back.
Yeah, Phil has absolutely no idea why this game isn't getting him support like the other games usually do. He's thinking that he does the exact same thing, but here's the thing. Different games don't appeal to the same people. Like, his audience, for whatever reason, just may not like him playing RPGs all the time. Maybe they want to see him play a different game each and every day. Maybe they want weekly schedules of like Minecraft once a week, fighting game once a week, etc., etc. Maybe they don't want to see him play a game that takes 50 hours. Maybe they want to see a party game. It's just a whole bunch of variables. Maybe, which is probably the most likely case, is that the whales don't like RPGs, and all 5 of them are like, yeah, I'd rather see Phil something different, so I will tip him on my sock accounts with something else. Because this is the most chill and positive part of the stream right now, when it's just the chair and you have music playing in the background. But I don't think Phil realizes how calming and soothing this is. But who knows? He's on his never-ending quest to get more tips. And tonight it's just not working out. He's getting some tips, but he's not getting as much as he wants. Of course, it's going to cause great difficulty because he's going to complain about it endlessly.
Take everything.
Look at his head.
There we go, Philip. That's some robust face-scratching action.
Someone says their name is Jalen and they tip me $1. Well, thank you for the $1 tip. Guys, it would sure be great if I could get some more support for the conclusion of Clear Obscure. Let's push forward.
You can just hear how upset he is that he only got a $1 tip. He's not happy. There should be a streamer who just gets $1 and $2 tips the whole time. And then he'll be so salty, like he'll raise like close to $50, but he's like, I didn't get any large contributions. So like every time he gets a cheap tip in his eyes, he's gonna just bug out. He's like, wait, you gave me $2, why couldn't you give me like 5 or 10? He doesn't even like the $5, $10 tips, he wants 20 plus. You gotta hit the 1 minute man quota.
Cashier Fink Oa says, should I send a tiny dono now or let it gain interest and send a big one later? You should do both. Send a tiny one now and a big one later. Or maybe you want to send a big one now and an even larger one later. That'd be amazing. I recommend sending as much as possible, as early and frequently as possible. There you go. I know I'm not going to get anything, but, you know.
And he did not get anything from that person, because who could have predicted that? Anybody could have. But yeah, Phil wants his instant gratification, so him asking for you to hold off on tipping him is like non-realistic. If you tip him $5 today or $20 tomorrow, he will always pick the $5 today.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game. The game is match the tip. So right now the top tip is $5. Someone match that tip and increase it by a slight amount. So increase it by like a penny. Do like 501. And everyone keeps doing that and do a little bit increment, until finally I'm rich. Let's do that. It's my little game. I like to call it Make Phil Rich. Oh, look, it's creation. What is this?
The issue with that, Phil, is that games are supposed to be fun. It's like your stupid idea with Pokemon Legends Arceus, where you had the top tip of the night gets to nickname a Pokemon. Here's the problem with that. You play a game where you literally catch hundreds of Pokemon in a single sitting. So there's no real value to that. And what happened is that all of your fans withheld their tips until the last minute because they wanted to be the highest bidder. So they weren't going to get into a bidding war where like the top tip was $50 because if they wanted to nickname a Pokemon and they tipped 20 right off the bat, someone could just swoop in and tip $21. So if that's the sole reason you were contributing, the $20 is really worthless. And you wanted that to happen. You wanted your fans to like waste their money on you. Even though they already do that just in general because you wasted on WWE champions.
So no one's playing the game? No one's playing the top beat the tip game? Why not? Come on, it's just 501 to start. Do it.
Spoiler alert, nobody tipped $5.01 to support Phil's garbage content. I know, it's kind of hard to believe, considering that Top the Tip is basically a game that he plays all the time, he just doesn't call it a game. Because he's like, come on, let's get somebody to beat that on the leaderboard. Like, that was one of the worst things of the Kino arc. It's like, Phil, you're kind of just diminishing the person that gave you money. Because you're like telling somebody like to beat their tip. No, like value all the contributions that you get.
You know, if anything, the flaw is that I'm a streamer, right, who has to share this gameplay with all of you, and I can't just sit here and enjoy one game at a time. And I know that lengthy RPGs are not for the majority of my audience, which sucks, because it is for me.
Then you should play it on your own time, Phil. Stop wasting your audience's time with you complaining. If they don't like the game, they don't like the game. You can't change that. And if they don't find you entertaining, then you gotta be entertaining. Ever thought about that?
I love this style of game. It's a shame here we are, a month and a half after it came out, almost 2 months after it released, I'm getting the first ending, and I can't do any of the Act 3 side content because no one wants it.
Yeah, so maybe it's just not appealing to your audience. That's just the way it is. Stop complaining about it. Like, you know, if one whale came in and tipped $100, you wouldn't have this whole session. Like, this just shows you how ungrateful Phil is. Because he's like, I can't do whatever I want. I have to actually do what my audience wants and financially supports me with. I want to do whatever I want. Okay, Phil, then play it on your own time.
That's the flaw, is that sadly, a masterpiece game like this cannot be fully enjoyed by someone who shares this as both work and pleasure.
Alright, so 2 things. Number 1, that is complete nonsense. I'm sure there's tons of streamers out there who are able to make this game entertaining and were able to get their audience to support it, whether it's financially or just by watching the game. Number 2, it's not the game developer's business to make a game that is enjoyable for a streamer, and the point of the game is not for a streamer to collect money off of the game. The point is for a player, somebody who is playing the game by themselves, to enjoy the game. Your situation is not something that is considered when playing the game. Of course, now developers are interested in like the online atmosphere of people playing it, but their priority is basically to get attention to the game, not for a streamer to make money off of a game. You are not part of that business, Phil. You are on the outside. You are on the periphery.
That's really the flaw, and that's not any fault of a game developer whatsoever. The game was perfectly paced.
But Phil made the stream pacing awful.
Didn't have any parts that dragged.
Yet Phil made the game drag.
Didn't have any parts that really had any issue.
But Phil had a ton of issues with this game because he didn't make enough money on it.
It's just a double-edged sword with being a lifetime content creator like I am. You know, that I've been doing this now for 17 years, and
no, it's a double-edged sword of a guy that wants $300 a day playing video games but doesn't provide any entertainment value whatsoever.
You know, I gotta take the good with the bad, and the good is I got to play it and I got to share it with all of you. The bad is we can't see all the content right now.
Yeah, so Phil has to cling to this like 17-year legacy or whatever, you know, his legacy, because that's all that he has left. He has to present himself as a popular streamer. He's just clinging to his glory days of when he was well known on YouTube, when he wasn't the butt of all the jokes, before people found out how toxic he was. So he has to have these sessions because it's just reminding his audience, hey, we're in it for the long haul. You're in it for the long haul. You're like that Thomas guy who gave me $1,600 because he's been watching me for 16 years. Because the only people left that are watching Phil are the die-hard fans that have been with him all the way. So he has to promote his legacy because he has to make it meaningful in a way. And the entertainment value today is not meaningful. It's just him staring at the screen begging for money.
So there you go. If anything, maybe the one critique is if you do the side content, you're over leveled for the finale, right?
That's why it's called side content, Phil. You pick and choose what you want to do. And the more you play the game, the higher level will be. It's like, what are you talking about?
Maybe that's the one critique of the game. That's probably the only critique I can really give it. Everything else is good.
Yet somehow he's scratching his head and wondering why this game wasn't supported by his fans. Because they're not in it to support the game, they're in it to support you, and they didn't want to support you playing this game because you're not entertaining playing this game.
Completely original, right? Very hard to guess what's going on because it's such a deep story with layers upon layers.
That sounds way too complicated for a DSP stream. Way too complicated.
Rarely do you come across a game that's not cliche or follows a bunch of tropes. This game does not. Absolutely not. Using gameplay elements from so many different RPGs over the years and combining them into this one beautiful masterwork. I just want them to keep making games because it would really suck if they don't make any more like this. Because this is like, I hope this is like the beginning of them making amazing masterpiece RPGs. Hopefully this becomes like the textbook case of why these games are good and people should put time into them to develop them and make them as good as they are.
And hint, hint, hopefully next time when you're watching me playing this game, you will give me more money than what you did now. Here he's still thinking that he can convince his fans to like his playthrough of this game. Phil, these kind of games are just hard for your audience to watch because if they're not fully invested, it's hard to jump in. Like if they miss a couple of streams, they don't understand what's going on now. It's just a hard buy-in. Where if you're playing something like Minecraft or Call of Duty, they can jump in without any prior knowledge that they need to understand what's going on.
Not a game with 5 million hours of padding, open world garbage that's boring. Instead, a game that has enough content that's all meaningful, that it's worth your time.
Yeah, and you dragged it all out and made it meaningless for your audience to view.
No time to do the other ending. Or maybe one day, what I was saying is, if I feel like we can do it, maybe one day what we'll do is go back and we'll do not only the alternate ending, but we'll do the Act 3 side content. But people don't want it. I played this for almost 2 months, on and off, over 50 hours of gameplay. My audience is telling me every single time I play it, don't play it. It's boring. Look at tonight. Look at the support. Right? Nothing. Almost none. Zero. People don't want the game, even though I think it's amazing. So that wasn't even a legit, that was an auto resub above me. Your future stepdad auto resubbed for 2 months. He wasn't even an active contribution. So there you go.
Yeah, imagine you giving money to fill the stream, and because he didn't hit the goal, he calls your contribution meaningless, nothing. Like seriously, Phil, this is really ungrateful. And that's why you're gonna have more streams like this, because people are figuring out he doesn't value my time. He doesn't value me as a viewer in his community. He just wants my money and for me to donate and leave. That's all he wants. So he's going to just whine and do what he wants and not think about me as a person or as a viewer or somebody who wants to be entertained. Because they can just take their money and go somewhere else, Phil. You're not the only option anymore. And what you're practically doing here is chastising your audience and complaining to them that you didn't get to play the game 100% because they didn't want it. And you're calling them out and basically deriding them for that. Because you're saying, oh, this game is awesome, but nobody wants to see it. Like you're insulting your audience right here. They can play the game on their own time. They can watch somebody else. They don't want to see you play this game, so get over it.
and super bosses and all kinds of great stuff, right?
Just because you want to do something does not mean your audience wants to do it, and your audience does not want to be force-fed a game. That's why you had like 4 or 5 streams where Claire Obscure had awful support, because whoever was giving you money didn't want to give you that money for this stream because you make it about the game, not about you. And let's face it, your gameplay, the way you do commentary is boring.
I bet. So that's what I mean. Like, I would love to do in the future, it won't be now, but maybe later this year, if things calm down and we have time for a few random chill night streams, to just do some optional content in the game and explore what we missed, what we didn't do. Because I do feel like we left so much out by not finishing all the content. And I absolutely would have done it if it would have been people showing up, engaging, and supporting, and they just won't.
Phil, you played this game in your own words for over 50 hours. What are you leaving out? You're good as it is. Your audience has had enough. And I will say this, if there were 30 people watching the stream, but one whale came in and every stream tipped $150, he'd be playing this game. He doesn't care about engagement and viewership, he only cares about the money. And we've known this for years, because if he cared about views, he would actually leave his live streams up. He wouldn't clip them into gameplay pieces. And here it is again, Phil just saying, oh, this game is awesome, but since it didn't get support, it's your fault.
All right, and I hope you understand. I love the game. 1,000,000% this will be in my best games of the year. I'm not going to tell you now this early on if it's going to be my game of the year, but this will absolutely be in my games of the year countdown. It's that good of an RPG. It's one of my favorite RPGs that I've done as a content creator, hands down, by far. And, you know, I would love to do the content, but in 2025, the viewing audience doesn't want it. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, he has to have a whole guilt-tripping session and whining session about this because a whale didn't come in and give him money. That's all it is. And this is really ungrateful to the majority of your audience who aren't interested in this playthrough.
It sucks. Again, let this be a lesson. There's a double-edged sword to making a living, also doing what you love.
No, there's a pitfall in being a YouTuber that got in on the ground floor early and is not entertaining and is forced to play this game and other games, and basically games he doesn't want to play because he doesn't like video games anymore and he doesn't know how to make them entertaining, so he's just staring at the screen waiting for tips and hoping that begging will give him enough money. It doesn't matter if it's a good game, it doesn't matter if it's a bad game, it doesn't matter if it's a mediocre game, it doesn't matter if it's an okay game. Phil will make every game uninteresting and boring. It's just him complaining and whining and begging. Like, we can see you, Phil. We can see your face. You're not having fun.
Because you have to make decisions based on what's going to keep stuff afloat. And as much as I like this game, I mean, look, I finished it. And how many streams did we do? 3, 4, 5 streams recently that weren't hitting any support. Look at tonight, we got like $20. But I'm still playing it.
Yeah, because despite you majoring in business in college, you're not a smart businessman.
Because I wanted to see the ending, right? You know, it just sucks that for bizarre reasons, people will come and support other stuff, but not this game. Again, it has to be the length. It has to be that it's an RPG. Things that I like lengthy RPGs. I do.
Yeah, so he's blaming the game for being long, but he's not blaming himself for not entertaining his audience. And with things like these, you have to have a consistency to it that he doesn't have because you have to be fully involved in the story. So it's not a good game by definition to pick up if you have fans that aren't fully invested in it. Because you can't just hop in and enjoy the stream, you have to have background knowledge. So that means you have to change the way you stream, Phil, or you have to pick a different game.
For those of you who have been here all along, there's some people in chat right now who've been here for the whole playthrough. I want to say a special thanks to you. I understand that not every single person out of the thousands of people in a year that watch me do content can support playthroughs.
But every time I don't hit a goal, I'm going to complain. So I'm just kind of invalidating what I'm saying right here.
I get that. But you're still here, and you're still enjoying, and you're still engaging, and I do appreciate you, you know? But you have to understand, it's tough for me. I want to do stuff like this, and I can't continue at this point.
Yeah, well, you should have figured that out a few Claire Obscure and Blueprint streams ago, Phil. It's not that hard to figure it out. Sometimes you just need to put something on the back burner for a while. But you want to be stubborn and do it your way, and when your way doesn't drag your fans to the finish line with you, you get upset about it because the goals aren't getting hit.
I think what I'm thinking is give it a rest. Maybe later this year, bring it back as a few chill night streams here or there. I'll let you know when we can sprinkle them in. So I absolutely want to explore and check out this content. Okay, I do. Look, there's 2 clouded areas we never even got to access. There's all the things that were floating. There's areas that we couldn't get to that, like, there, there's tons.
Yeah, Phil's desperately trying to get his fans invested into this playthrough, but they're just not. And really, the onus is on you, Phil, not the game. It's on you.
So, all right, and please understand, I will never discredit a game like this in my Game of the Year countdown simply because it didn't resonate with all of my audience who support my content. Never. The game is superb. The game is absolutely a masterpiece. I hope you understand that, okay? So, for this very lengthy, Claire Obscure playthrough,
We didn't hit the goal a lot, but I want to still play this game. So somebody better get in contact with me and tell me they want me to play this game and be prepared to give me money right now. A regular streamer would just thank their audience for watching with them and just go, but Phil has to have this whole cope session about it.
we shall see what happens in the future, but I would like to go back to it at a future date and play it again and see some more of the content. I'm being told by chat about 20 hours of optional content.
Alright, so you want to go through 7 to 10 streams where you don't support the goal over a game where you can play 7 to 10 times like Minecraft where you will? You do what you want, Phil, but like you say, you're running a business, so sometimes running a business means you have to make sacrifices. You can't do whatever you want all the time, you just have to manage it well. You talk like a middle manager all the time, Phil, so you should know. But you think that the guilt tripping will get you to where you need to be. And it doesn't always work like that.
Including the optional dungeons, super bosses, and more. It's right up my alley.
It's right up my alley. Look, guys, I'm good at this stuff, guys.
It really is right up my alley of what I would like from a game like this, so there you go.
I really want to play this game, guys. I really do. So give me money because I will not play it on my own time, even though that's what I should be doing. I need money to play video games. I need money to buy more video games, so you should be giving me a ton of money for each game I play. Like he really thinks that his fans are shareholders in this fictional company he has.
All right, so for Clear Obscure Expedition 33's main plotline story and playthrough, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the future, hopefully, for some side content. Peace out.
Yeah, so that 14-second clip I just showed you should have been what he recorded and posted. He shouldn't have had that 4-minute guilt-tripping complaining session put in there. But he's Phil, so he's going to complain live on stream to his fans about how they didn't give him enough money. Yeah, that's a great way to get more money, Phil.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's that for now. Like I said, I would like to return to it at a future date, but what can you do? All right?
You know, he could put WWE Champions down for a night and play Clair Obscure on his own time, but no, he won't do that. Because video games are not meant to be enjoyed for him. It's a money-making venture.
All right, that is it for Clair Obscure. We have wrapped it up. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. It's a shame we got 20 bucks of support yet again for the game. That's why that's it. I can't keep doing streams. I have to do stuff. People are going to show up for it and support. It's a business as well as a hobby. You get that, right? Like, it is what I love, but it also is my job. So.
Yeah, your fans are acutely aware of that, Phil. They know. You stream 12 times a week for like 6 hours a day. They know what you are doing. They know you don't have another additional source of income besides what you get from streaming. You hammer it into their heads the entire time, every single stream. They know. They are aware, Phil. If a stream doesn't get supported, then you move on to the next game. It just is what it is. You don't have to have this whole cope session about it just because you want to play the game. You either play the game and take the L like you did, but you don't complain about it after the fact.
It would be like, if you have a job, let's put it this way. Let's say you have an office job, right? and there's one part of your office job you absolutely love doing.
Said absolutely nobody ever. Phil, just because you stream from a room that you call your office does not mean that you know anything about this.
But you can't do it all the time. You're outright told by your bosses, that's not what we need you to do all the time. Sometimes that's good, but if you just do that one thing all day, that's not getting the whole job done. You still got to do this and this and this and this. You have to stop doing what you like and do the other parts of your job. And that's how I have to take this, you know?
This just sounds like you're treating your audience as your therapist. It's just so confusing, Phil. Your fans don't like the game, or at least according to you, they're not. What you're saying right now is kind of like your fans like the game, but they don't want to spend money on you. So it's like you can't have it both ways, Phil.
I did tough through it, and I accepted that there were going to be nights like tonight where no one was really going to support, and I kind of swallowed it. You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, it is what it is.
Dude, you definitely did not accept it because you are still complaining about it to this very moment. Throughout the entire stream, you were begging and complaining about how you're not getting enough money from your fans tonight. That's not acceptance. That's stubbornness and ungratefulness.
I tried to pull out all the stops. I made offers for badges. I did everything. Sometimes
the begging doesn't work because your fans just don't have money for you that night. It is what it is.
let's just pop open Clair Obscure tonight. Let's fly around and let's explore the optional content, right? Let's do that. I would hope that there will be times like that this year. There certainly have been, and there hopefully will be in the future, where it won't be a big deal to take a night or, every once in a while in a random week and not have to worry about, oh, am I getting support tonight, right? All right, well, folks, that's it for Clair Obscure.
Yeah, and unless a mega whale comes in and gives him like a $3,000 tip, that's not happening. He's pretty much done with Clair Obscure. Because the Kino arc is over, so those huge days of robust support are past him. Now he's going to be back to begging for $50 goals. Like, this is partially his fault because he increased his goal to 150. So it's like, what's the point if we're nowhere near the goal that you're going to support? Like when he had the tiers with 50, 100, and 150, you got glasses, you got a hat, you got a vest. And of course that's silly. But if he had the goals, where like if we hit 50, we'd get 1 point instead of 150, we get 1. He'd be hitting more goals and he'd be collecting more money probably. But this is the guy, if he gets the 150 goal 4 times out of 5, he will hold more weight to the time he didn't get it than the 4 times that he did.
So I guess we'll see tomorrow night how that goes, but I hope you will come back and hang out and engage and support the final day of the week. Sucks that I knew all week, I said I'm going to beat Clair Obscure and no one's going to be there to support. And I was dead on correct. There's even people who normally do support who sat there and didn't support tonight because they don't like Clair Obscure.
Wow. Way to call your audience out, Phil. That is extremely disrespectful. You're just whining and complaining because they don't want to give you money tonight. No, you should be grateful that they choose to support you. They do not have to support you every single stream for every game you play. They can support you whenever they want, and you should be grateful that they allow you to maintain this lifestyle that you have.
There's not much I can do about that, folks, okay? All right, everyone. So I wish you all a good evening. I will see you all in the morning for my final streaming day of the week. Peace out and have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Alright, so now we move on to the part of the daily wrap where he talks about the Clair Obscure disaster stream. It's only about 4.5 minutes, but I'm going to cut a lot of it out because he repeats it, and I'm like, I'm not going to waste your time and just repeat the same thing over and over again.
So, great progress in our Lives of P today, and great support. We exceeded the support goal. That was excellent. Tonight's late stream was the conclusion of Clair Obscure Expedition 33, the standard playthrough. And what I mean by that,
only Iced Coffee didn't support and tip me, so I can't play the side content in the game that I want to play because he doesn't want to wail out on me tonight, so I'm stuck doing something else that I don't want to do to appease him.
problem is, as you know, if you followed along this playthrough, there is little to no interest whatsoever in my viewing audience for the game. I'm not saying it's no one, I'm saying it's like 5% of my audience, if that.
So let me get this straight. You're playing a game that only 5% of your audience wants to see, and you're surprised that you're not hitting tip goals? You're only going to hit tip goals in that case if the whales actually like the game, and it doesn't sound like it.
And that's bad. Now, I told you guys, listen, I would commit to beating it. Tonight, we beat it. In fact, we had just enough time to beat the story. Well, I'll just accept that there's not going to be any support today.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
So I can't. Out of nowhere, someone comes in and does a giant contribution. I'm like, whoa, I'm like way ahead right now on support.
You're never way ahead, Phil. You put all your money on WWE champions.
And say, let's just do some Clear Obscure tonight. I would like to do that. But it's more for me that we get to play it and people get to see it. It's not about the support, because I don't think it's ever going to come. Just being honest. I think there's certain genres of games I'm just not going to get that level of support.
Yeah, well, I think you know by now that Only Iced Coffee and Other Whales are not fans of JRPGs, so...
Done, move on. Even though it wasn't the biggest moneymaker, it's not about that. It's about games.
Dude, who are you trying to fool? You keep mentioning support all the time. It's not about the games. The games are just padding filler. It's about if you got enough money or not. And you didn't, so you have to shelve the playthrough. You can't do the post-game. Boo-hoo. Cry me a river.